So I don't think I've actually ever made a music video on this channel before, but it just so happens to be that one of my favorite artists of all time, the big Justin Bieber, is actually making a comeback in 2025 and will reportedly be releasing a ton of new music and a potential album, which we're going to be talking about all of that and more today, as well as a new tour in 2025. Again, we have been getting a lot of news recently, and this has come as a big shock and a big surprise, especially considering JB hasn't made an album since 2021 and was reportedly retired from music. Of course, now it's been nearly 4 years since the last Justin Bieber album, and a ton has changed. Again, we know that he wasn't necessarily retired from music due to the fact that he wanted to be. He obviously had a lot of health issues that cancelled the last tour, but has had a ton of management issues as of late too, with him actually breaking up pretty much with Scooter Braun and Allison Kay, his agent and manager, and finding himself a new record label, which the leaks have said. Again, there's been rumors he signed with Republic Records, and as you can see, it looks like something is on the horizon because he's releasing new music here. Again, it does say that Justin Bieber is gearing up to release new music this year, according to NME and Puck. Justin Bieber is allegedly gearing up for a major return to the music industry this year, according to Matthew Baloney. What a fucking last name. As a hungry fat kid, that is making me very, very... Yeah, I'm feeling some baloney coming to my mouth right now. Pause. This is the writer who reported that Justin has cut ties with former manager Scooter Braun. He also has reported that a new Bieber tour is in the works. Again, a few months ago, Justin posted photos of himself in the studio, and he recently tapped back in with the legendary producer Darkchild on Instagram. Again, I don't really know much about Darkchild other than his name sounds incredibly racist. But I do know that Darkchild was a guy who I think produced a lot of his music in 2012 and 2013. If I remember right, he has credits on As Long As You Love Me and some credits on the Journals album. I could be wrong on that, but he has got a lot of credits to do with Justin's older music that a lot of people have been saying they want him to return to. The R&B Bieber, the freaking basically Justin Bieber trying to be black, who produced a bunch of bangers in that area, like As Long As You Love Me, like freaking Confident, which is a track, etc, etc. Again, this is even more evident with a report saying that he will be revisiting his Journal sound for his music comeback. It said he is working on new material and plans to tour as well. Other sources say he's revisiting his Journal sound for his comeback. Again, I believe Justin Bieber's best sound, in my opinion, is the sound he had from 2015 to 2016, where he decided to not only infuse EDM into his pop music, but also had a lot of tracks on his albums which were R&B focused, like No Pressure with Big Sean, which I think is one of his all-time best songs. And again, I love the EDM type of stuff that he would release, like Company, Where Are You Now, Friends, Let Me Love You, etc, etc. I loved all that stuff, but I loved how he just did a ton of really awesome things together. Again, some of those songs like No Pressure though were inspired by his 2013 project Journals, which again had a ton of different singles on there that were very R&B type focused. Again, I think we forget how good that JB sound really is, and I hope he returns to that a little bit more, because so far in his last couple projects, we got Changes, which I believe is by far his worst album. It's the only album he has that I think is considered even a little bit bad. All his albums are so goated, except that one in my opinion, which I just don't think he found the right sound. I don't think he found the right mark. It seemed like he was trying to do an R&B style project, but it just had none of the flavors and recipe to it that his older stuff did. Again, he ended up having Justice as well, which is probably my second favorite JB album. which kind of returned to the pop and EDM roots. There are a couple of EDM songs on there, a couple songs produced by Skrillex. Again, some really, really good stuff. But it seems like on this project, he will not only be going back to that journal sound, potentially having people like Big Sean and whatnot on the project, but also it looks like he will be still having some pop on it and will still be potentially releasing a project that is like Purpose, that has a mixture of all of the above, because Ryan Tedder actually did put a kind of eyes emoji on a post saying he's returning back to music, meaning that Ryan Tedder, a guy who has, produced some of his pop stuff, and I believe even a couple songs on Justice, looks like he is going to be returning and helping JB out to make an album which not only has that journals flavor, but hopefully some more infused stuff like we got to see on Purpose especially, and like the little bit of taste that we got to see on Justice. Again, another thing that I think Justice did really well was explore even another sound that JB hadn't really done yet, and that was some Afro pop with songs like Love by You being really, really good, and honestly my favorite song on the album. So I hope he continues to explore new sounds, continues to explore new things on this project, but also continues to use artists that aren't on everyone's albums. Like, everyone's album in the R&B world pretty much has always the exact same features on it, and it's really, really boring. But again, another thing that Justin did so well on Justice was some of the, artists he had on it don't really do as many features as what you would think, and you wouldn't think would be really on a JB song, like Giveon, Burna Boy, and the list really goes on and on. So I hope on this new project we don't get boring features that everyone is used to, like freaking, I don't know, every rapper has to have 21 Savage on there, even though I love 21. Every rapper's got him on there, every rapper's got freaking Future on their album. I want to see JB again collaborate with some of those more unique artists again, like Burna Boy, like I mentioned earlier, and get something really cool going. And speaking of the features, we haven't really heard anything about his features other than we know he was actually supposed to have Ed Sheeran on his last album that he did. Again, there is a JB album that was supposed to come out after Justice in 2022 that he was working on pretty intensely, but again, with a lot of the issues with his record label and things like that, it never really happened. Also, the single Honest didn't exactly do too well, and I just think it kind of derailed the project. Again, he was supposed to have Ed Sheeran on it, which we know because Ed did say he had, I think, wrote a song for the album. He had also, I think, sang on a song on the album. Again, there was even rumors that Charlie Puth was going to be on the album in some capacity, whether as that is a singer or a writer. And even, I think it was Jungkook from BTS, one of the members from BTS, was supposed to potentially be on the album. But again, that project seemed like it was almost like Justin was being forced to do something he didn't want. I don't think, again, Justin would go from 2021 having all these unique artists and doing a really different project to in 2022 releasing this really bland pop sound it seemed to be with all these modern pop artists like Puth, Ed Sheeran, and Jungkook. That didn't seem like the direction I think he wanted to go with, and I think that's why that project got cancelled. I have a feeling on this new album, there will be a lot of unique voices on there. Again, he's still pretty close with Don Toliver. That will probably be one. Billie Eilish, again, I don't think they're yet to do a single that's not a remix, so that could be one. And those would be the two basic ones you'd probably see. Even though technically Billie doesn't feature on much, I think he'd go and do a lot more unique stuff with a lot more different artists as well. So again, I'm interested to see how this album is going to go. I'm super excited to see that he's back. He's probably going to be going on a tour, and I really pray that he comes to Australia because I've never gotten to see him live, unfortunately, which really does suck, but I'm hoping that's something that I get to maybe see one day. But again, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. For I get some more music content and whatnot, don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions down below about potentially Justin Bieber releasing a new album in 2025, and what do you guys think about that all and more. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.